It's episode
12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 12 now, and we finally get to talk dwarf monitors.
Yeah, I'm excited because I really don't know much about dwarf monitors. So I'm super excited. I know Kyle he's got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. He's got the professional cornhole, the breeding monitors, dwarf monitors, and all kinds of other stuff.
I mean, is it crazy to think that cornhole is that big, that there's a professional cornhole league?
Yeah. And what's crazy is he's one of the best players in the league.
Well,
he's top dog. Hopefully pros come after me. I just from what I've seen, Kyle's a god. But
come on, camera, focus in. There it goes.
But yeah, I'm super stoked to bring Kyle in. He's going to go ahead and join here in a second. But episode 12, guys, if you're not already, like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned because we plan on doing lots and lots more.
Lots and lots more.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How are y'all?
Doing good. He had to go let the dogs inside, but doing good, man. We were just talking about the Kimberleys, actually, right before you joined.
Yeah. I actually sold those.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I got out of all the small stuff. I just have one little action monitor left, and I've got the 12x12 you saw on Facebook earlier out back. We'll talk about that soon. Huh?
Yeah, I'm excited to get into that. But
what the?
But
what? Wait, hey. I was listening the whole time. Wait, you got rid of your Kims?
Yeah, I did. I actually sold them after I had the clutch hatch. I actually sold them. I decided to do bigger stuff.
Respect. The bigger stuff is where it's at. But
hey, that is a common misnomer. Okay, there's so much more personality in those little lizards in there.
There really is. I mean, I had Tristus and Kims. I had 2 pairs of Kims actually.
What Tristus did you have? The Ordata or the Tristus?
The Tristus. And they actually didn't catch on, in my opinion, as much as I thought they would. Yeah. Everybody still was 4 Jackie monitors.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of people doing Ackies, but backing up into it, for everyone that doesn't know who you are, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of tell us what got you into it and how you got here and everything.
Well, my name's Kyle. Basically, I got into. I was doing snakes before I did monitors. I actually went to a local shop that a buddy of mine referred me to, one of my snake guys. I was in there getting a pair of white lip pythons actually, and
northerns or southerns?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Were you getting the northern white lips or the southern ones, like the gold ones? That's sweet.
Yeah, really good. That's blue.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
But basically, I saw this white throat monitor, in a small, 24 by 18 cage, and he was, 20 inches long. He really didn't have a lot of room to move in there.
Jeez.
And I kind of felt bad for him, and I asked, how much they are, and he said, well, he's $700, yada yada. He said, well, we do, payment plans. I said, okay, cool. I got to pay it off first, and then I can get it. He said, no, you can take it home after you put the down payment. Said, okay, cool. So I put $100 down payment, had a 3-month plan, made the first payment of $240 something, whatever it was, and then they went out of business for some odd reason.
Oh,
I showed up to make a payment, and there was guys pulling stuff out of the building, and they went out of. I called them and said, "Hey, what's up?" They said, "Well, we went out of business, so I guess you got lucky."
Well, damn.
So paying him off. I still have him. A year and a half later. So that's Roscoe, by the way. My white throat.
That's awesome.
Not long ago.
Hell yeah.
So basically, I got Roscoe, and that was it for me. I love monitors now. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I did. I had the same switch, man. As soon as I got my first one, I kind of went fuck everything else, man. Monitors are where it's at. So what did you? What did you get after you got the white throat?
I got a baby black dragon. I got into those, and I kept that for right around 7 or 8 months, and I decided, I'm going to do, something else.
Mm.
So I had him, and I kept him, like I said, for a while. And that's gradually, you know, that's cool. I want to do that. So I get into that, and eventually I got to the point where, I'm like, man, this is getting expensive. I need to start breeding, I guess, and getting into that if I want to keep doing this and have a lot of animals. So I decided to sell most of my babies and started getting adults.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm getting into. I've had my first clutches, and I've got some other stuff in the works.
That's sweet.
So what all are you actively breeding right now?
Right now, I had my Bell's lace female. I've got her going on her second cycle. I watched her through her first one, and now I've got a sense of time when she'll breed again. So I've got that going on. Waiting on my white or female to gain some more weight, so she'll get some more eggs in her. And then about a week ago, I got a male coming eye from my female, and I had him for 3 days, and they were both scratching at the doors at each other. So I decided, hey, I'll just go ahead and do it and see what happens. I put him in with her, and they locked the same day.
Hell yeah!
And they've been locked for the last 3 days now.
So speaking of lace monitors and locking lace monitors, cycles of lace monitors, we walked into the reptile building last night, and we're looking all around for the female lace. She's sitting on top of a clutch of eggs.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Really?
That's awesome.
No,
so we just had the other ones hatched, and now we have another group hatch. So if anybody knows anybody that wants any bells or quote-unquote super bells.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what my male and my female are Don Church line. The male was from his yellow line, and the female is his frosty line. So it'll be a really good pairing. Hopefully, I get some really clean babies too.
My only thing that is the only shitty part about everything is the fact that right now the only thing that's selling is normal.
Right. It's the blue phases and the blue tigers that are really picking on that.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
people are tired of that Oreo black and white look they get in every animal.
Yeah. I'm actually actively, if I find a blue face female, I'm probably gonna grab it because putting her with that.
How much you willing to spend?
we might have to talk after the podcast.
Oh no, I think Chris would kill me. I think he said that he wouldn't let it go for less than 10. But
yeah,
that's just
I paid that for the pair I have now. So.
Yeah, I mean we had two. We had a regular a Bell's, and then what John called it as a super Bell's because it's like pure white. There's no yellow in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then we were about to give up on this last egg, and we're just like, well, we'll just leave it for a couple more days. And when we decided, okay, we're going to throw it out, next thing we know is there's this blue phase lace that pops out, and we're just like, all right.
Glad you didn't do that.
And so we got another clutch of eggs from there, so we won't know until February what hatches out of those. But hopefully, between now and then, our other pair of lace will hatch some, and one of them is, I forget if it's the male or the female, is the offspring of the other two already. So they're both visual normals.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they have the genes for the blue and the bells. So
that's sweet.
Right.
I think that's the way to go when breeding bells is to produce both of them.
Yeah. So we got the genes for the blue phase, but I don't think Chris will let that blue one go for any amount of money.
So when did you get into the dwarf monitors? Because I know you were all about those for a little minute.
Yeah, like I said, I recently just got out of them. Like I said, they weren't catching on like I thought they were. The first, exports from Australia that came in.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted them. All the breeders wanted them, and then babies became to the general public, and I just feel like they weren't selling for the right price. They were steadily going. They're still going down a little bit. I know some of the adult Kims are going for more now, but the babies are kind of staying steady, and I didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. I thought they were going to be going for a little more, and for the price of insects that I had to pay for
Yeah.
to keep all those little things, it just.
So what were you feeding them, and what was it like feeding them? How did you have them set up while you did have them? Like how did you get them breeding basically? Because I know not a lot of people are doing that.
Right. So I had them in 4x2x4 PVCs, a male and a female.
Okay.
Both 2 to 3 years old. As they got bigger, I was going to upgrade them to maybe a 6x3x6 or something. I could build something.
Mm-hmm.
But basically had them in Repty soil, play sand with a little bit of Eco Earth mixture.
Okay.
Wet it, dampen it, and then plenty of places to climb around, climbing access all over the cage. I had a few square bricks lined up, and then one on each side of them.
Okay.
And I just stacked flat bricks on top of them, and then put smaller bricks in between, making little cave spots for them to, hide in and do their thing. Plenty of cork bark, for them to get in, tunnel, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So
And,
are they
put a leg off.
Are they a dry species since they're from Australia, or do you kind of need to keep them a little bit humid?
Modestly, I always like 40% was a good number.
Okay.
Because it doesn't. If I were to go in there one day and it looked a little dry, I would just go ahead and spray it one good time because you can't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to hurt it. It'd be just like a rainfall every now and again in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Well, and the other thing is too, and that's why I know we talked about on a previous podcast. Like I used to keep my Ackies different, where I had 12 to 18 inches of soil,
right.
so that way they could dig down and burrow down, and down in that bottom layer of soil, you get all that nice moisture and all that stuff.
Right. I think I've got about a foot or a foot and a half.
Yeah.
Depth in the 4x2x4s. So
Okay.
They dig down.
yeah, they like to do that. And if you don't have the lay box right, for people that don't really know, they will hide those eggs somewhere in a tunnel underneath the soil, and you will find yourself digging for days if you don't have that lay box right.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was like, how did you prevent them from? How did you get them to lay in the lay box rather than like anywhere else?
Basically, when I first got them and put them together, I went ahead and just started putting the lay boxes and experimenting in different spots of the enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you give it about 2 hours, I'd say, to adjust to the temperature inside, and then go in there with a temp gun, dig down about halfway, take the temp, and see where it's at. You want that 86 degree mark, roughly.
Okay.
Maybe a degree here and there. But besides that, I mean, if it's too, I actually had a problem keeping mine cool enough.
Oh wow!
So I actually had to put ice packs around 2 sides of the lay box.
Damn.
And transfer them every few hours after they melt, or every 12 hours after they melt, whatever it was.
That's crazy. See, I'm having an issue getting my lay bins to the proper heat.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? Just heat pads on the side, or a light on like above?
Yeah, I had it because it obviously wasn't getting hot enough, so I put heat pads, and then it was too hot.
Okay.
I could have went and changed the size of the lay box, but I just wanted to. I had the perfect size, and I didn't really want to take up too much of the enclosure with it. So I just went ahead and did what I had to do the first time, and then I readjusted and put it on a temperature gauge and timer.
Oh, okay, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've heard that I actually heard Alan did this for his Ackies, is he took a 4-inch piece of PVC in the bottom of his enclosure, covered that or buried it in the enclosure, and had heat tape inside it was either inside or outside I think it was inside the PVC, and he just had it hooked up to a herpstat at 85 degrees. So that way he knew that he just had to dig down to the backside, and there's the eggs.
Yeah. It's really. I don't think people understand how important it is to have a proper lay box. because I mean it. You don't want a female absorbing eggs. That's just not good.
Yeah, I've had it happen twice, dude. It sucks.
Even if they're not going to be fertile, have her somewhere to lay at least.
Yeah.
Or she's just a bitch. Not lay anywhere.
Yeah, I just think my issue is the heat. I think the highest I've had is 80 degrees. I think I'm going to bump it up to like 85, 86 and see if that helps. But I'm giving her a few, like probably 5-6 months before I even consider pairing them back up, just because she's reabsorbed twice. I want to bulk in her back. I want to get her like big before I even consider it.
Right.
But yeah. So did you try and breed the Tristis at all, or did you just do the chems?
I did. I tried to breed the Tristis. They never did lock for me. It was strange. I put them through 2 cool downs, and they still didn't do anything.
How cool were
they
you
must
pulling
have
them
been
down?
females or females, but I never saw them fighting or anything. They just never really associated with each other.
They just hung out. They were friends.
Maybe they just were 2 females, or I don't know.
Yeah, and so the one thing that I've heard about Tristis is everybody talks about how dwarf monitors are so easy to breed.
Right.
The one thing I know about chems, and I think that's kind of what happened, is everybody got in the market for chems, and then like chems will just pump eggs out.
Yeah. I got 3 clutches in 3 months. And I separated the male after the first month, so I had 2 infertile clutches after that.
Yeah, it's insane. And so chems are great for that aspect, but then you end up with a surplus of them, and it's like, what do you do? And like you were saying, the price used to be $1,000 a chem, and now it's like, oh, I can get a baby for $500.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, well, I'm going to get into chems, and then you're like, then chems are going to go to, and Ackies are doing the same thing. Red Ackies used to be $700-800, and now you can buy them for $200 if you find the right deal. Because
by the time you buy all the insects and stuff for those babies to eat for the next month or 2 or 3, however long you keep them till you sell them, they're just eating up a hole in your pocket with crickets and roaches. Roaches are expensive.
Yeah, roaches are so expensive.
Crickets are easy, but roaches are expensive.
I hate crickets. I hate crickets with a fiery passion.
And my thing too is I feel like I can never get enough roaches to get a colony just that can constantly supply me. Like no matter how many roaches I get, I always end up feeding everything off. Even if I like try and hold it back for like our last colony, we didn't feed any adults like literally anything from the colony for like 4 months, and then 5 months in we started feeding just like juveniles, no adults, and then everything crashed.
So the only thing I know about roaches is you have to literally take them all, throw them in a bucket, throw them in your closet, and just let them sit there for like 6 to 8 months, and then your colony is officially started.
Yep.
And
that's what I heard.
It's like set it and forget it. Just throw it in the closet. Make sure you give them fresh food, fresh water, or water crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 months later, you're gonna have a colony, and then you just take some of the adults out of there and start a new colony, and then just bulk up on colonies, and you'll finally have enough roaches.
The shitty part keep
going.
I was gonna say the shitty part for Kyle and I is we're in Florida, and the discoids breed so much slower than the dubias. Like dubias can, I think they go through their whole reproductive cycle in like a month, whereas it's like 3 to 4 months for discoids. Like it's a pain. Roaches, feeders here are a pain in the ass.
Even red runners are illegal down here, so it's like you can't really do anything good.
Yeah, I think discoids are the only one.
I picked up a PVC case not long ago, and he told me he's moving to Texas, and he's just going to pay us $20 and we'll take the class and get his venomous license. And we got to have 1,000 hours down here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a pain to get a lot of shit down here.
We just get crocodilians, so I mean, but we have to have a license to have an alligator.
That's so crazy.
We got to have We got to have 5 acres to have 1/12 of alligator down here.
Yeah. Anything over 4 or 5 foot, you could have 5 acres.
Yeah.
What they changed that recently?
Yeah.
That's been like that the last 2 or 3 years. maybe 4 years.
They're not even giving out venomous permits anymore down here.
So they
That's the grandfather in.
they changed that fairly recently because I know you used to just, if you wanted an alligator, it didn't matter. You get yourself a Class 3 crocodilian, which was it used to be like a $50 permit. You didn't have to have any time or anything
No,
like
you
that.
got to have time now, and you had to have
Yeah.
crocodilian. It's a pain.
You had your Class 3 crocodilian, and you had yourself an alligator, and it didn't matter where you lived. And you
I
just
wish.
kept it in your back.
They're Class 2 down here now.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of all the fun down there. So wait, what's on a Class 3 anymore?
It's just mammals.
Yeah, pretty
now.
much just mammals.
I think you can do ostriches or emus or something like that. And then
Your coatimundi.
yeah, I have a quote. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not chirping right now. He's
I'm
actually.
so jealous.
I was cleaning his cage out. I got a big guinea pig cage, one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And he stays in when he's not out at night, and I have him in a little dog crate over here for now, and I'll close his cage.
Do you have a Chianti? You have a Chianti Mundi?
Yeah.
Wait, why the hell are we talking reptiles when you got a kid?
Here, I'll grab it.
You gotta grab it. I mean,
This is why I want my Class 3, man. Oh,
here you go.
he's so cute.
So, I just found out about this. This is privy information that I just found out, so you guys can know about this. Some guys wanting to trade some Chianti Mundis for those rock. Why can't I think what they're called?
What?
Those rock ponds that we have.
Oh, the universal ponds?
Yeah, the universal rock ponds.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He wants to trade 2 universal rock ponds for
a kawadi?
3 of those. 3 of them.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So I'm like, I want one. I want one. It's like, okay, you can have one at the house, whatever. They're still in the bottle. I'm like, okay.
They seem so much fun.
Oh,
mine's actually 10 weeks old now. He's still in a bottle. He's eating that.
Do you have a name for him? Do you have a name for him yet?
Yeah, I call him Squeakers just because he makes that noise all the time.
That's funny. So
I wanted to name him Rocket, but he's not a normal raccoon.
Oh yeah, he does squeak. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh wow! And I thought the porcupine was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the porcupine.
I actually traded an Asian water monitor for him.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no, we.
Yeah, Sammy Velasquez.
Okay, I've heard of him before.
Oh
yeah,
wait,
out of Orlando.
That's who's getting the universal rock.
Yeah, he probably.
It's probably one of that one's siblings.
Trade, right?
I just heard that name. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. He sold the other two to SeaWorld Orlando. They're actually working on a new program.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chianti Mundis?
Hype me all the time.
Wait, that's crazy.
So how did you get into the? We'll kind of get back on top. How did you get into the cornhole?
Oh yeah, let's get into that. I've been doing that for a long time actually. About 10 years, 11 years. It obviously started as a hobby. About 4 years ago, I'd say it kind of turned into a job, sort of, whether it was a side job or now where I'm doing it full time.
So that's your full time gig right now is just cornhole?
Do what?
Your full time gig is cornhole and reptiles?
Pretty much right now, yeah.
Dude, that's so badass.
I'm currently looking for a career, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate goal, I want to be reptiles full time, be a breeder, and do some other mammals and stuff too. So
yeah, so you have to do a lot of traveling for that. So how do you balance traveling and all of this breeding and everything?
I have an amazing girlfriend. We'll say that. If I'm gone for 4 or 5 days at the time, she doesn't feed me.
Oh, sweet.
Dude, that guy is so awesome.
She just texts me and asks me what she needs to lay out. She goes in there and does it. Even the big lace monitor that chomped down on my hand one time. He goes in there and feeds him.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That is not a fun bite. I have not gotten bit by one, but I have seen Chris get bit by one.
My
Not really.
I've got a second knuckle. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Oh yeah.
From it, yeah, that happened like 3 or 4 months ago, and it still hasn't gone away.
That's crazy.
I don't know what happened. It was not. It was man. It was sore for a month. It hurt for a month.
I bet.
It was not fun.
I'm sorry. I just hear the squeaking in the background.
Yeah,
That's
the
so
kids,
cute.
kids came out.
So how often do you have to travel for the tournaments and all that? How does that work?
So in the pro season, it's really every other weekend from
wow.
April until August.
Okay.
And I have to take a flight, and 4 of those are national events, and then they do the broadcasts in a couple of weeks at like an open tournament or something, so that way they have fans instead of just all pros there.
Okay.
So they get fans like the community cornhole crowd, the amateurs or whatever they call them, in the crowd to watch.
So how big is like the biggest like tournament that you go to? Like how many people are like in the crowds? Like how does that work?
There's roughly 2,000 people that go to World Championship.
Oh hell yeah!
So that'll be probably the biggest stage, I would say.
That's sweet. And have you won any tournaments and championships and all that? How does
Yeah. Actually, how I started funding, my breeding project, if you will, 2023 this past year, World Championships.
Fuck yeah!
I actually won singles, the singles event, and I made 20,000, 25th.
Oh goddamn! Hell yeah, dude!
Yeah, so I took some of that. I actually rented out first day my mom's old house that we had, just sitting around. It was a dump. So I came in, I cleaned it up, I renovated it.
That's awesome.
The rest, I started my breeding project with.
So you can go, Chad. Whatever you're saying.
No, so only because everybody at work talks mad shit about how great they are at cornhole.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm terrible. And somebody was supposed to make me some cornhole boards so I could practice, because I grew up in the summertime going to upstate New York, and we played this game called Washers, where you play one and you just have a washer and you have 5 holes, and I can destroy anybody in that game. But cornhole, it's like I can sink a few, but it's not like coordinated shots and all that stuff. And you start talking about different kind of bags, and I mean these guys are going nuts about this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know anything. Like, I know nothing about cornhole. I just know that this bag goes in that hole.
Dude, that's how I feel. I follow Kyle obviously we're friends on Facebook, and he'll post stuff about like sticky boards, or, like fucked up bags, and I'm like, I have no idea what this shit means. Like what?
Well, we get to bring our own bags, right? We have most of our sponsors are cornhole companies, cornhole bag companies that want us to throw their bags. So we basically get paid from them, sponsorship, to do that. So I never really have any complaints about the bags. I love their bags.
Okay.
But there's some directors, like regional directors, state directors down here in the state, that I hear from everybody else in other states. They get, pro boards, exactly what we play on at Opens and Nationals and stuff like that at their regionals and state tournaments. But like down here, our directors are cheap. They can go the cheap route and buy the lower end equipment, if you will, that doesn't play.
Damn.
We'll say to spec. They don't play to spec.
Okay.
So are they faster boards?
No, they're more of just like 3 different. There were 3 different brands of boards at our state tournament, and they were all mixed in, and they all play different. So like I'd play one game on board 10, and it would be slow and bouncy, and then I'd go to board 11, and it would be just fast, super fast.
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really just like on the director about not caring about the players.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, everybody's got to play on it.
It's the only thing that I understand about cornhole is a slow board and a fast board.
Yeah.
Only thing I understand.
Well, the bags we get to use have a slow side and a fast side.
Yeah.
Huh. So, like, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm hella curious about this shit.
The slow side would be more for harder throwers,
Okay.
and if you want to throw a block per se, and then the faster side would be for maybe somebody that throws more of a tilted bag
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't have as hard of a throw.
Okay.
And then when you want to push through something, like if you have a block up there and you want to push through the block, you throw faster.
Okay, that makes sense. And so,
The fast side glides across the board easier.
Right, and it would be like to push through a sticky side bag to go take them both in the hole.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So when you're doing teams, do you have a set teammate, or do they assign your teammates for you, or do you have to? How does that work?
Yeah, we pick our partners at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And we stay with that same partner and collect points. Like me and my partner right now, we're fourth in the country.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're actually going to be on ESPN this upcoming weekend.
Oh, fuck yeah.
In Ohio.
I'll definitely
watch out for me there.
I'll put up the information on screen and in the description below, so have some people tune into that.
ESPN, actual ESPN, or like ESPN HBO show?
ESPN 2.
The second
It'll be live on Friday night.
Oh, sweet. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll definitely have to watch that.
I believe 6 o'clock, but I'm not entirely.
So how much would it cost me to have you come in for a day and just like when we're having a cornhole tournament and just be my partner, so I can just be like, fuck you guys, my partner's the best.
Hey, pay for my plane ticket and I'm there. I just want to come hang out.
Don't tempt me. What's the closest airport to you?
As long as you take them through a tour of the reptile.
I can manage that. I can manage that.
Sounds like a deal.
We got a few cool things here. Just a few. Just a few. I'll even take you a tour through the mammal building too.
I would love that.
Yeah, the mammal building is sweet. I want to go see it.
It's gonna be more sweet once we get everything else in there that apparently we're getting.
My girlfriend wants a Phoenix fox if you have one of those available.
Those are actually illegal here.
Really?
I think Steven Brazil has some extreme exotics.
What state are you in again?
We're in Alabama.
Alabama.
Yep.
I did not know that. I guess every state is different.
Yeah.
It's like we can't have. They just passed a law that all king snakes are illegal.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Because they can't tell the difference between different species of king snake.
Oh, really?
That's fucked.
But we can have iguanas. We can have all the reptiles except for tegus.
They tried to take away all of our iguanas this past year.
Yeah, they tried. That's not gonna happen though. Not with Ty Parks and all the biggest iguana people that being in Florida.
And the dog and cat law that goes along with it.
Yeah, exactly. But with the speaking of iguanas and big reptiles, what big monitors are you trying to get into or working besides the bells? Like, what are you wanting to get to add to your collection, if any?
Mostly Asian localities at this point.
Okay.
I've had some black dragons before. They are probably my favorite locale of Asian, just because of how social they can become.
Yeah.
And to me, it's amazing how much smarter they can be than a normal Asian. And normal Asians are very smart.
Yeah.
It's they're probably my next species I'll go into.
That's sweet.
The Asians are doing really well right now, and everybody loves them.
Did you get albinos?
I want some T negs. I don't know if I'll do T positives. Maybe later on down the road, but the T negatives are in there. On the list too.
I know a guy right down the road that.
Yeah, I was about to say Wes is working on T negative gurus.
That and Pam.
Mm-hmm.
Not Tam. No, CJ, not Tam. CJ.
Yeah, CJ's working on some T-neck shit too.
I met CJ a few months back. John came down here and he got a T-neck female.
Mm-hmm.
But he got a female from John, and because of the cost of the lizard, John had it shipped down here, and then John himself came and delivered the lizard.
Oh, sweet.
To CJ.
That's dope.
So, yeah. So CJ's about half hour, 45 minutes from me.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
really?
Yeah.
I know
There you
that.
go.
So yeah, I mean, I can
Another
show you a lot of reptiles here.
Another interesting thing I got going on, I completely forgot about this because I've been making payment plans on it for what seems like forever now, and it's only been a couple months. I've got a couple of Spencer's monitors. I'm
Oh,
working on.
sweet.
Dude, those would be really fun.
I
to work
forgot
on.
you
What do you
were
think
working
about
with
those?
Spencer's.
Yep.
I got a pair of those.
Were you really?
My male, actually, we got them from John.
Yeah, I'm getting mine from Alec.
Well, yeah, they came from Alex, but John came and saw.
Is that John's partner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I just had to make sure.
it's gonna.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
that's an adult too, almost.
No, well, the female's small. The male is. Oh, just because I have it.
They are a very slow growing species.
Just because I have it there. But yeah, I got a picture of John holding one of the Spencer eyes.
These things are so slow growing too. I mean, these things are a little over a year old, and they're barely 16 inches long.
What are you feeding them?
Well, I don't have them yet. I'm still making the payments on them, but he's been sending me pictures of them, and they are a little over a year old, and they're maybe 16 inches.
So ours are a year, or ours are like 15 months old, I think.
Yeah.
And
He says he's trying to keep them small because he's still, he doesn't want any more adult.
yeah, well, our male is now eating 2-week-old quail.
Damn.
It's just taking them back.
He's a really good size.
And the female will eat day-old quail, like whole day-old quail. I mean, they're both big, but for a while they were in the same enclosure. And he just outgrew her so fast. So we ended up having to separate them, and now he's in a 6x2x2, and she's in a 4x2x2, and she's getting some serious weight on her now.
Oh,
I hear they hit a major growth spurt, and then they just float out at some point.
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
But I know when John was out here, he goes, the male that we had, he's like, this guy's twice as big as all the other ones that we have from the same clutch. And I mean, he's every bit of 3 foot long. He's awesome.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why they grow at different rates? Or?
I haven't figured it out. I mean, they both have the same appetite. I mean, you can tell the one's definitely a female and the one's definitely a male just by head shape and everything.
I feel like males usually grow a lot faster in the monitor world.
I mean, typically with most animals, the males will grow faster or larger. What's more impressive is the big male bells is probably twice as big as the female
in
every way, shape, or form. But the other two that we have, they're right around the same size, and they're 2 years old.
Huh. My male's about 5 foot. My female's maybe 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, Sheila's probably 3.5, 4 foot, and Bruce is about 7.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Bruce is huge.
So
that's
you saw that picture I posted on Kai's thing, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Of the two? Yeah. It was just, I mean, he dwarfs her drastically.
So with the outdoor enclosures you're building, Kyle, what is your plan with that? Break down like the dimensions and kind of your idea for these big outdoor enclosures you're working on currently. Because I know me and Chad like talking about enclosure builds.
Yeah, it's going to be a 12 by 12, about 8 foot high. I just messaged Pressfield today and asked him what kind of wire he uses for, his, and so I'm going to get that ordered. I got 3 of the walls put up. I'm working on the 4th wall. It started pouring today down here. It's been pouring every day.
Yeah, same here.
And I'm going to get that ordered and get that done. I'm thinking about dividing the back half, putting it up, maybe 4 foot and then I'll have 3 4x4 by 8 foot tall
Oh, that'd be
in
perfect.
the
Yeah.
back, and then one 12 by 6 in the front for something bigger.
What are you planning on putting in there?
I'm still thinking about it. It's up in the air. I want to do the Melanus, the Twins monitors. Peach throats might be in the book. If I can find a really pretty pair, I don't like the duller,
Yeah.
that barely have any color underneath their chin.
Mm.
Blue tails also.
Yes, sir. Gotta love the
Yeah.
blue tails. And what about the mangroves? Are you getting that female?
Yeah. She's coming. What is it? Thursday.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
And then, I just gotta find a male for her. She's still like 2.5 foot, so I'm gonna have her with some food and see what she does.
If she starts
I'm not
cycling
trying to get
and you don't have a male, let me know. I'll come bring my male down. Loan them out.
Yeah, we talked about that already. We'll definitely, we're still gonna do that, right?
Yeah, I'm totally down. I want to produce these. I don't care what female it is.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing is so fucking cute.
What? I mean, you really just got to upgrade. It's like I told Gavin, you got to upgrade to some croc monitors.
Yeah. So my girlfriend over here, she doesn't like the croc monitors because of how big they get.
Well, they're not that big. I mean, Xerxes is only 8.
Yeah, that's what I said too. But.
He's only 8 foot long and scary.
Yeah, 8 foot and scary. Yeah, not bad.
I mean, theoretically, Asian water monitors get big too.
Yeah, they get 7, 8 feet.
Yeah, 7, 8 feet and 70 pounds, 80 pounds.
Yeah, easily.
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
I think blue tails are a lot cooler.
He told me if I win a national this year that I could get them. So I'm gonna work on that this weekend.
That'd be sweet.
Well, work on that. Is there somebody that was just selling on one of the monitor groups who was selling his whole collection of? I think he had like 5 croc monitors.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So I was like, I sent it over to Chris. I was like, we got space.
Yeah, I've been talking to Sammy too. He's got 2 pairs of croc monitors. He's thinking about getting rid of his bigger pair.
Yeah. Well, if you know anybody that wants an exanthic male, we got an exanthic male here that we're not doing anything with.
Yes. I think I've seen one. Is he on Morse Market?
No.
No. No, that was in London.
Yeah, you'd have to come up here and pick him up though, because I'm not shipping him because.
How big is he?
I'll ship. He's 6 foot.
Oh damn.
Okay, so I'm a little new to that scene of the exanthics. What do you have to make the snows? Because that's what everybody's aiming towards right now.
Snows?
Yeah, the leucistics, as they're calling them, the ice dragons, whatever they're calling them.
I know there's the platinum and leucistic, and from my knowledge, those are.
Blake's got one.
What'd you say?
Blake's Exotics just got one.
Yeah, so that is Blake didn't get one. This guy John has it. He was just touring someone's. From my knowledge, that's an actual morph, like how leucistic ball pythons are different than like albino combos. But like snow, like I know in the turtle game at least, snows are in the turtle game snows are albino melanistics. So theoretically, a black dragon albino, like double visual black dragon albino, would be a snow. But I don't think they would call it that in the monitor world, because I think it sounds cool, but they'd probably call it something else, like an icy dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some posts about ice dragons, but you can't really see their. It could be a filter for all I know.
Yeah, I don't think that. From what I've seen, the couple, at least I think it was T positive melanistics I saw. They really didn't look that crazy. They just look like black dragons with a little purple hue in the right lighting.
Yeah, there was somebody I was talking to. They said that they were working towards making snows, but there wasn't really a name for it yet.
Yeah, I mean theoretically, like I said, in the turtle world, and I think even the boa world, snows are albino melanistics.
Okay. So that would make sense. But they were saying you need to be a xanthic gene to make it, and I don't understand all that.
I feel like it. I don't know. Maybe I might be wrong. It could be albino xanthic. That would make sense too. But
I don't know.
It's probably a combination of the both. I would definitely like to see what future morphs can be made with the xanthic and all the other stuff the Asian water monitors have.
I don't know. I still want to cross that xanthic with the celebensis.
Ooh, yeah.
That happens.
That would be cool.
That'd
be sweet.
We have a female celebensis that constantly cycles, and we just keep pairing them up, and she's doing a great job. But all of me, Wes, please let me do it with your lizard. Just let me put the xanthic in with your celebensis.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens.
Who is it that's doing a lot of that now? Is it
doing what?
Celebentis now. He's Fox. Robert.
We have some in the incubator right now. Well, Wes has some in our incubator. We just take care of Wes's celebensis. But
I think those are the only two people doing it, though. Rob and Wes, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
And actually, the pair that we have here right now is the. I know I screwed this up before. I know Wes was the first one to produce celebensis.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say the pair that we have here are the ones that produced the first ever.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Well, okay, yeah. Because I know I was like, I know for a fact the male was the father of the first ever celebensis, captive bred celebensis.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's still pumping them out, and we have eggs in the incubator from her. So hopefully here in a little bit we'll have some more.
And those are a dwarf species, right? No more than 4 foot.
No.
Really?
No.
They're chunk. They're big. I mean, I wouldn't say they're smaller than 4. They're male celebensis. He's pretty good size. I mean, he's a big lizard. I wouldn't say he's dwarf by any means.
Huh.
Yeah, I heard.
I've always heard they're like the dwarf water monitors.
See, I heard that about coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but John's got one that's 6 foot long.
Yeah. Well, hell, we had a Dumerals monitor here that was 5.5, 6 foot long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a big Dumeral.
Yeah, he was a huge Dumerals.
Another one
I've seen some black roughneck, but never that.
I know the blue tails get a lot bigger than people think too. Like I see a lot of people throwing online, they only get like 4 foot long, and my female was all of 5.5 foot. When I measured her out when she passed, and it was like 5'6", 5'7", I think, something like that. She was a monster, and just think the males get even bigger. So there's a lot of species that are like, oh, they're a smaller species. And then yet they get huge. It's kind of, I feel like it's a lot like the fish game, how like these red-tailed catfish get sold at like stores for being a super small fish that in reality get monstrous. I feel like a lot of breeders are trying to sell species as smaller when they're not.
Well, I mean, that's like the amount of savanna monitors that you see that top out at 2 foot long.
Yeah.
And it's like, they can get a whole lot bigger than that. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, there's a whole number of things that I still say that for, like, how some fish will stop growing because their tank's not big enough. I think that reptiles do the same thing if you don't have them in the right thing. You don't have proper husbandry, they'll stop growing, they'll stop getting bigger as fast.
Definitely.
100%. If you put a croc monitor that can get 13 feet long and a 12 by 12, he's only going to get as big as the cage allows.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you really don't want to do that, but that's why I'm kind of hesitant on doing crocs too, because I don't have a 20 by whatever it is to put. For me to be for me to think that they're comfortable enough in there. I just don't think a 12 by 12 for a lizard that could potentially get 12 foot long is ideal.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel cramped.
Yeah, a lot of people out and it's actually. I'm as big as they get. I would like to have at least 20 feet to have a pair, comfortably.
What
And that still, to me, is kind of small.
Yeah, what we're looking at putting them in is we have they're 12 by, ours are 12 by 12. All of our walk-in enclosures are 12 by 12, and we're looking at putting them in the one double, the 2 croc monitors and the one double 12 by 12. So I guess it's not, but it's 24 by 12. But it's the idea of grabbing those lizards and moving them. I might have to call Nick up here and be like, hey, we'll grab these guys. You're not afraid.
Yeah, they'll mess you. They will mess you up. They will.
Dude, the claws on him are insane. Like, it's
that's the problem with those is if they come at you with their mouth open, you can control the mouth, but you can't control the feet.
Yeah.
well, it's the same thing with, like, people don't understand with lace monitors. Lace monitors are a semi-arboreal lizard. So imagine a 7-foot-long lizard that climbs up a tree like nothing. Or I took a look. I saw something really interesting. We were watching an old or like one of the Croc Hunter episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it with my son, and he was messing with some salties and stuff. And he's like, "Let me go show you how big this sand goanna is." And the damn thing's swimming through a river. I'm like, huh? Well, who knew that a freaking googly eye would swim through a river?
So I got a question for y'all about laces, since you both keep them. Now, I was talking to Nick, and he was saying with all of their lace monitors, they almost seem to not like water, and they give them a small water bowl. Do you notice that yours like to swim, or do they stay away from water almost?
Yeah, ours don't go really around water. I mean, we have the big mixing tubs for them for water.
Okay.
But yeah,
Do you ever don't see them like soaking in there at all or anything?
I've never seen them once soak in the water.
Huh. What about you, Kyle?
Every now and again I do.
Mm-hmm.
If I start to see a little bit of flake on their sheds, I've noticed that they'll go in there and kind of just dip themselves in there, but then they'll get right back out. They won't, stay in there for any period of time.
Okay.
But with all of my monitors, I try to keep as big of a water bowl as they can swim around in.
Okay.
Just they have that option if they want. A lot of beginner keepers, and that's a lot of the reason why I don't think Savannah monitors should be considered a beginner monitor. I think every monitor needs water, but even like desert species, beginner keepers like to think, oh, well, they don't like as much water.
Yeah.
But in reality, they spend their whole lives looking for water in the wild because it's so scarce. So if you provide it to them, they're going to use it.
That makes sense, yeah. So how big of a water area do you have for your laces?
Big enough for him to get his body in and kind of like turn around comfortably and move around in it.
Okay.
And then get back out. I don't overdo it with them because they're not a aquatic species. Say like Mertens. If you got a 3 or 4 foot Mertens monitor, you got to keep a 100-gallon pond or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever that's used, and that's a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, even Bruce the Big Bells, he doesn't even like to be sprayed down. It's weird. Like, and I think it's just every lizard. Like, I could pull shed off of the Big Bells,
Mm-hmm.
and
He loves it.
Yeah, they love it. But it's like, I don't want to get sprayed down, so don't spray me down. I'm like, but I need this off of you.
Interesting.
Mine doesn't like the mist. I think. I mean, I've had my my female drink from the spray bottle as I'm spraying her, but then when she's done drinking, she kind of just like jerks her head away and like doesn't want it anymore.
Huh.
I just don't think they like spraying on them.
That makes sense.
That does make sense too. But I can spray down his body, he loves it. But as soon as it hits his head, he's like, "Get away!" And I'm like, "I'm not messing with you because I know you will do some damage to my hand."
Now, do you keep yours together, Kyle?
I keep him separated because he's a lot bigger than her.
Okay.
And if he wants to get on top of her and breed her, he's going to. So I try to keep those two separated. And I've actually seen, the first time I saw her run away from him, I was like, yeah, I got to separate them.
Okay.
Because I don't want her, stressed out and they're having to run from him every.
Well, and if she's got eggs, right after she drops the eggs, I mean, even ours will chase him down.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, pull him out. So,
Yep.
and so we always keep an open cage of some sort somewhere, so we can
Yeah.
move big bells around. And he's chill. You can pick him up, move him around, and all that stuff. They're highly well. Mine are highly food motivated. All 4 of them.
My male for sure.
But
now, what are y'all feeding your laces? Just quail and rodents?
Quail, chicken. Rodents.
I try to stay away from rodents as much as I can, just because of how fatty they are. Unless I'm trying to fatten up a female, something like that, or after a cool down, maybe. But other than that, I try to stay away from rodents as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
Quail and chicken are pretty much their go-to. And then every once in a while, we'll get a big pork tenderloin and chop it up into small pieces and give that off to them. And they lap that. They love that.
Oh, yeah. So have you ever... gosh, I lost my train of thought. Well, never mind. Do you keep anything else, other reptiles, or is it just solely monitors now?
I'm just solely monitors now. I was doing snakes a few years ago, and then I kind of got out of reptiles in general. Took like maybe a month break, maybe 8 months, something like that. And then I ended up getting Roscoe, and I haven't stopped since.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they're fun.
So now, how's everything going with your coming back? You said you have a pair coming back?
Yeah. I actually got the mail about a week ago.
Okay.
A few days ago, I saw him clawing at the cage, and he was kind of out roaming around, digging in the lay box. So I put him in with her. It was a little early, so I stood there and watched him for a minute and made sure nothing went wrong.
Yeah.
But immediately he went over to her. She laid down, and they went to business. So
I want an egg. I want a baby. Dude, that's so awesome. That'll be a crazy quick turnaround if she lays.
Now being that happened though, she could have already been a few days into her cycle, and I could have missed it. So there's a possibility. I'm just maybe I got lucky, but
yeah. Well, if she ends up laying a bunch of duds, I would wait like 3 weeks, put them back together, and see what happens. Because
I was talking to Mike a little bit about him and see what he does, a general idea. So I kind of got a game plan for him if it doesn't work. But hopefully it does. I don't have to worry about it.
Hell yeah! So you got the laces breeding, the coming eye breeding. Are you any other big monitors you're currently breeding, or just them right now?
Just white throats right now.
The white throats, okay.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still kind of easing into the breeding aspect of things. I kind of just started the breeding stuff maybe six months ago. And I was just keeping stuff.
Okay. How's the white throat breeding going? What have you been doing? What's that like?
She laid a first clutch. They are only 2 and 3 years old, so I really didn't expect my male to be old enough yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was cleaning out his cage, and I threw him in with the female, and I didn't have her at lay box yet. And immediately when I put him in there, he locked with her.
Oh wow!
But I didn't have the lay box set up yet, so she laid 13?
That's a good
13
number.
does. Yeah, so hopefully her next one will be close to 15, 18, something like that.
Fuck yeah!
Well, let me know once those eggs hatch. I'll probably get away through.
Yeah, for sure. I like the whites over the black, especially the Mozambique. They're just, you can't really beat the whites on those things.
Yeah, the Mozambiques are my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty cool. I think the Cape Bandits are a little overhyped for what they are.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, the Mozambiques they're just better colored.
Yeah, I think they have way more whites than any of the others. Like I don't know. I feel like you look at a Mozambique and you're like, that thing's like super clean looking. That's a beautiful animal right there.
That's what my male is. My male's got my male's a Mozambique,
Mm-hmm.
but the female, John told me that it's more than likely Cape, half Mozambique. It was probably bred halfway somewhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's still
But
that'll still produce some beautiful babies. What was that?
She's still got a few good white spots on her. She's not like as bright as he is, but I mean, they'll still make some nice looking baby.
And they just look so much better as babies.
I agree. Way more white.
Mm-hmm.
The darker colors are more distinguished in the babies.
Definitely.
Well, I'm saying white throat versus black throat.
White throat for sure.
Yeah,
Can't
I
really
agree.
see white. When they get older, it turns to like a caramel color almost. So it looks really good.
Now you said yours were a little small or young to breed. How how old do white throats have to be before they're usually ready to breed?
I heard somewhere between 3 and 4, and sometimes even 5 years old. It can take that long. But
Oh, wow.
like I said, my man was 2, and then when I messaged John and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" He said, "Well, I've bred white throats at 2 years old, so
Oh wow, shit.
I guess it's not really as high of a number as everybody thought it was."
It's kind of more of like a size thing, probably. If they're of size, they're gonna go.
And then I've heard of people breeding Ackies at less than a year old, which is not good. But
Holy
No.
crap! I didn't even know that was possible.
they can come into sexual maturity very young, but depending on if they're ready or not is another story.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Switching it back to like 1400s and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of fucked up. That's a young age to breed a lizard.
Yeah, it really is. It's not good. The Ackies and like dwarf monitors, a year and a half is like bottom line, in my opinion, and that's even pushing it.
How old were your Kims when they went?
The female was 2 and the male was 3.
Okay.
And the other pair, I had 2 2-year-olds, but the female was still like a year and 8 months or something, I guess.
Oh, wow.
And she ended up laying. She laid one single egg.
How long did it incubate for? And what's the incubation process for? Yeah, we didn't get to talk about that. What's the incubation process like for those this Kimberly's?
Mine were in there for 128 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's still a lot. I was expecting like 200 something days.
that's for the bigger species.
Okay.
I know lace monitors take that long.
Yeah, I think ours were at 200. Our lace monitors were 210. I know Ackies. You can get Ackies down to about 90 days on a hatch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Tristis will do it in about 90 to 100, and then Kims are a little bit on the longer side.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when Kims are pumping out eggs every month, you end up with like 100 plus eggs of Kims real quick.
My female cycle was literally 30 days on the dot for 3 months straight.
That's insane. Yeah, that's what the mangroves are like, according to Kai. It's like 30 days is pretty much their cycle period.
Yeah, it's not that long for mangroves either, which is crazy that there's not more captive bred mangroves out there.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Not a lot of people are getting them to adulthood and like actually working with them. I feel like.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why.
Neither do I, man. Neither do I. I've been.
A lot of people are probably letting them or are getting them killed off because of parasites because of the wild caught and all that.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah.
They're definitely that whole everything in that genus, I will say, or complex is super underrated and kind of shit on just because they're known for coming in riddled with parasites for dirt cheap. Like you can go to a show and get a mangrove for $100.
I tell you, if people were to start breeding them, they'd be pretty popular though.
Oh yeah,
I feel
like you look at some of the ones Kai's produced, and they're as tame as a water monitor. And
Right.
They got crazy personalities. Like mine are super personable. They might be assholes and hate me, but they definitely have personalities.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest turnoff that I've had with mangroves is to me, it's not that great looking of a monitor lizard. And every time I see them at an expo, they're severely underweight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to spend my money on something that I know that's going to probably die.
Oh, 100%.
Literally, yeah.
And I mean,
I've gotten where I don't want to go to shows anymore because of that, because people keep them in containers for 3 days at a time and don't feed them or whatever, and no moisture, nothing to drink. I mean, it's a bad situation, shows, I believe.
or what about, what are those ones that the coli?
Yeah.
Yeah, cold.
The Kai Islands.
Those ones are cool.
Yeah.
Those ones are really pretty.
There's actually Matthew Dove texted me the other day, and he's got like 6. He's got a Meraki locality available,
Mm-hmm.
A pair. He's got a Sarong pair available.
Yeah, I saw his Sarongs available.
He's got a lot of Indicus available right now.
Huh. I wonder if he's getting out of them. Because I know for a while he was working on trying to collect a ton of locals, but now it seemed like he's trying to sell them all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he bought them in hopes that he was going to get a male and a female pair out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he wants to keep them for that long, maybe. I don't know. He didn't say why he wanted to sell them. He just said he had his holdbacks ready already, so he didn't want to keep any of his adults now.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Facts.
Yeah, you'll have to text me those prices after this podcast. I'd be interested in those Sarongs. Those are beautiful animals.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people label them as silver phase mangrove monitors, and they're a lot of they're dope.
It's just like the banded peeps that was on Underground.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of mislabeling with all the Indicus stuff, but honestly, just shows in general, I've noticed, just have a lot of mislabeling in it. It's a lot of the big shows like Daytona and all that, I imagine, are super fun to go to, but a lot of these smaller Repticons, at least here in Florida, like the Tampa, the Jacksonville, the Orlando, you just see the same people with the same mislabeling, same shitty imports at every single show.
And I think it's a lot to do with the shows, too, is because monitors require so much upkeep that taking them to shows is almost like a death sentence.
Yeah.
For babies. You know?
Well, and not to mention, I mean, I met a couple of the guys that run Repticon, and I mean, it's these guys, like, you start looking at Repticon, the guys that go to Repticon go to all the Repticons. The guys that, like, we have Show Me Reptiles up here.
Yeah, same here.
Everybody that does Show Me Reptiles does all the Show Me Reptile shit. So, like, my friend Chris, he goes to, I mean, he's at a show almost every weekend. He goes from Tennessee to Virginia Beach. He goes down here. He goes, I mean, Tennessee, Illinois, here, there, and everywhere. He just follows this one show. And it's like, it's almost like they're carnies kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man, because I can't imagine the stress of not only transporting all those animals, setting them up, and then I would be so scared. Like, it doesn't happen often, but it definitely happens. Just people jacking my animals, like someone stealing something from my show. It gets so hectic at some of these shows that there's so much stress. And shout out to you if you're someone that vends shows on a regular basis, like every weekend type shit, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like talking to Billy and stuff. The amount, like, he'll sell 4 animals, and it's like I didn't even pay for my booth.
That sucks.
That's ridiculous.
Would you
including the gas to get there and everything?
Exactly. So would you ever vend, either of you, like that's not a big show like Daytona or something like that? Or would you even vend to Daytona?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. If we got back into the game pretty hardcore, we would go to just the big shows. So like Daytona, Tenley, and the big one out in LA.
Yeah, the Super Show.
The problem with the LA Super Show is you have to ship your animals in.
Yeah, you gotta ship them back too.
Yeah. Well,
or you do crazy deals and make sure you don't gotta ship shit back. But then at that point, you gotta hope you're making money, like making profit.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's why I tell everybody, if you go to a reptile show, go at Sunday right before it shuts down.
Definitely.
Yep.
Nobody wants to take their animals back home, and they're going to make you the best deals possible.
Yeah. That's how I got my big rhino iguana. What was that?
They've also been in those containers for like 3 days now. If they've been bad or anything.
It also depends on, well, I have now learned and know most of these people. So, like, there was one guy that I met up at the one of the Nashville shows, and he had a fresh import, and he picked his import up when he got to Nashville. Like, he had all the animals shipped right into Nashville. He picked them all up in Nashville and put them all out.
Right.
Like, you just immediately put them for sale?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's crazy, man.
I mean, like...
that's how you get mites.
Well, I know I went to a show back in Virginia Beach, and my camera did this thing again. There we go. I went to a show back in Virginia Beach, and Underground was there. And they had, like, 10 animals on their thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting on my shipment to come in. It was supposed to come in yesterday, and now it's coming in today. So
that's crazy.
Like the show's halfway through, and they're bringing in boxes of stuff and just throwing it on the table. And I almost, at that point, I almost bought a mangrove, and I was like, nah.
No.
Well, dealing with shitty imports, I know you've had some experience with it, Kyle. Specifically, we'll talk about Florida Islands and some other shitty like shit that you've had to deal with importers. So I'd like to maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that Florida Island mangrove, very pretty, very pretty. I actually got it from Steven at
Extreme.
I'm having a brain fart myself. Extreme, yeah, and ended up not making it. You had it for a few days, and I didn't even know it was a Florida Island. Honestly, I thought it was a Grinnell Island mangrove. And I put it on Morph Market, and Chris Foley messaged me and said, "I need this." And I said, "Well, it kind of passed the other day. I'm just about to take it down." And he was like, "No way." I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just a mangrove. Yeah. Steven didn't know what it was.
That sucks, man. And what that's what happened to it exactly? Like, what ended up going wrong?
I'm assuming parasites. I just didn't get to. I had gotten, what was it? I traded in an adult male lace for. I just went into Extreme and picked out like 10 and 11 monitors.
Yeah.
And we did a huge trade. I had a bunch of open cages and stuck him in there, and 2 days later he died.
Damn.
And then I messaged Steven like, hey, did you treat him? And he said no. They had just came in. Fudge. So I went ahead and treated everything else. A green tree monitor, a spiny neck monitor, various other things like that. And they ended up all making it, luckily.
That's good, at least.
Yeah, definitely, I think it was parasites. I treated them all for parasites, and they all ended up being okay after that.
Have you had any other bad issues or like shitty things happen with imports or captive-born animals that you've bought in?
Not really. I had one instance where a guy told me he had some captive-bred baby Asians, and he was going to do a wholesale deal for me of like 150, 175 each or something. I ended up trading him a sulfur for them all, for like 7 or 8 of them, and then 2 peach throats. And I got them home, and that same night, 2 of them dropped dead instantly.
Holy shit.
I asked him, I said, hey, what's up? And he said that he was down here on vacation, and he had the animals with him. And come to find out, they were all being kept in containers for like a week.
Oh, that's fucked.
Down here trying to sell them. And they ended up being imports at that. So I treated those for parasites. And I'm just trying to break even on them at this point.
Damn, dude. That's
I've only got one left, and if he sells for, a few hundred, I'll break even. But, just I hate that, I hate seeing animals die like that. And especially right in the speaker. I hate seeing animals die like that, regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all fat. They all had fat bellies and everything.
That
They hadn't
sucks.
treated. And that's another thing I think people don't understand about imports. Is if you don't treat them within a couple of days of getting them, and they haven't been treated yet, they will drop dead.
100%, yeah.
Well, hell, we had a Jumerals that was doing great, and she was eating great, and we took her to a show, tried to sell her, and then we finally had someone that's like, "I'm going to come buy it," and we're like, "Okay." I went out to go grab it and box it up, and I go, "Hey, so that female Jumerals is dead."
Damn.
Chris, what?
You hate telling customers that too because they're like they get a bad taste about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that it's like it. I don't know if it was stress because we took her to a couple shows, but we didn't take her to like a couple shows back to back to back. It was just kind of like
That could have been it.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. But I'm always like, it's the worst thing. But I'm always glad, like, at least it didn't die when I gave it to the customer. Like that would make it a lot worse if you sell it and then it dies in the customer's hands in like a day or two, because that makes you look way worse than it dying beforehand. I feel like. Either way, it definitely sucks ass.
I actually just remembered about like when we were talking about dwarf water monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Best one, Sumbawas.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were a dwarf species.
I mean,
I like those better than the sulfurs.
Which one?
I like those better than the sulfurs, the Sumbawas.
Really?
Oh, well, sulfurs get huge.
Yeah.
I like the gurus the best. The gurus are my favorite.
I think they got the best personalities. They're quite good.
Really? I've never worked with any or anything like that.
Besides the black dragons, of course, but those are known to be like best friends with people.
Well, do you think that's just because their black dragons are, for the most part, always captive bred, and them just being captive bred animals makes them friendlier?
I would say that.
Okay.
I mean, really, anything you work with every day is going to be nice. I mean, unless it just literally has a bad attitude.
Yeah. Definitely. Before we end this episode off, I want to talk about the mammals a little bit, since we got this little guy walking around the screen. Do you plan on getting any more?
Yeah. I mean, I want to do some breeding stuff. Like, I think the ultimate goal for every, reptile guy or any animal guy for that matter is to be somewhat of a conservationist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ultimately want to, work with species that are endangered in the wild and produce those and give back.
Definitely.
That's a dream of, I think, everybody that works with animals. So ultimately, in the next 20 years, if that's what it comes to, that's what I'll be doing.
Hell yeah. Respect that.
Yeah, I mean, birds, mammals, all animals. I mean, you can't just love one kind of animal, You can love to keep one kind of animal, but you have to have love for all of them.
I agree. If you had... Oh, you go, Chad.
There's a fine line of love, because there are certain animals that I just am like, nope, hard pass.
Spiders,
Nope.
I'm sure.
I got spiders. The spider webs I have a problem with. The spiders, it's not a big deal.
Mine's geese. I don't like geese or hogs. Two most. I've worked with crazy monitors and shit, and I'm scared of a goose.
Hey, don't get it twisted. I want to get an attack goose for out here.
They're serious, man.
Yeah. But the problem is because we have. I mean, I have people over here all the time. It's like, but a goose. If I raised, or if my son helped me raise a goose, nobody would be able to be around my son.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just insane. But like, more power to Chris for having those big cats, or those, I shouldn't say big cats, but I mean like
I want them.
The lynx and the caracal.
Mm-hmm.
I want them.
And like the caracal is okay, but I mean she's angry, but you can go and boop the snoot. But the lynx, nope.
That's crazy.
Oh, like I'm fine. I like them from a distance, but I'm not. I mean, not going anywhere near that, because that 70-pound cat is going to rip me a new one,
Yeah.
and I want no part of that.
Yeah, I mean that's completely understandable. But I think nowadays, like you have to have double door entry, so you have to have a place where you can lay the food and then get out of the enclosure
Yeah,
to feed them.
at
For
least
the
in
bigger
Florida.
cats, I don't know about those now because those are a little bit smaller than your leopards and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's laws like that in Florida at least.
Yeah.
I mean, we technically have double door entry on everything because we have the hallway that you walk down and you can open up each individual cage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's
Like
also
our venomous, like even our venomous down here has to be double door entry.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
oh, that's a new thing too. Then
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the whole room has to be snake proof.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And the
wild.
XWC gets to determine if it's snake proof or not.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so Kyle, just one quick wrap up question here. So if you could snap your fingers and like any legal monitor, so like no Komodos, no Parentes, what would be your dream monitor, and what would be your dream, and also mammal? Like since we're talking about mammals a little bit.
Dream monitor. I've kind of had a lot of them. So I mean, I wish my Spencers would get here faster if that says anything. Now if we're talking about illegals, I saw the Varanus caspius earlier.
Yeah.
Post, and those are very pretty. The Nestorovi are really pretty.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're
I think I
legal,
shared
yeah.
that post of that guy that bred them a couple of years ago. That whole genus and those weird monitors in Africa are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
The Bomii, golden spotted tree monitors.
Yeah.
I guess I get to because I haven't had those yet.
What about dream mammal?
Man, Mike Tyson, man, I just want a tiger.
Respect that. Would you get a white one or a normal one?
Probably, if I had a choice, a white one.
So,
am I the only person that says elephant?
yeah.
Like you guys, you can have your tigers and stuff. I want a freaking African elephant.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool too.
I think a rhino would be pretty dope.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I keep telling Chris that I want to get because it's obtainable is I want to get a warthog.
Those are cool.
Warthog?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think
warthog.
Like, I think it would be cool to have. And apparently they're either super chill or they'll rip your face off.
Yeah.
So I would have them live inside like dogs.
That'd be
I
pretty
guess you could
fucking
say
sweet.
the snow leopards are really cool too.
Yeah, I agree. Those guys are sweet. I'd kill for a snow leopard.
Really, if I could just work at a zoo, if I could move to Australia and work at Steve Irwin Zoo, I would.
You know, they are hiring right now.
They're hiring, but I can't leave.
You can join the cornhole team over there, the Australian cornhole team.
We go over there once a year.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna go and take some pictures and stuff. I'll be posting that.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That'd be awesome.
I'll be sharing that adventure with everybody.
So before you head out, is there anything you wanted to shout out? I know we mentioned your ESPN. If you wanted to talk about that again and your social medias, anything else you want to shout out before we wrap it up here?
This weekend, ESPN2, Friday night, I'll be on ESPN playing national championship.
Oh, yeah.
So go check that out. I mean, for what it's worth, my sponsors, shout out to y'all guys, Ultra Cornhole. I feel like it's standard for me to do that these days.
Yeah.
I have to shout out sponsors.
I'm half-ass on Instagram, Maydays _monitor.
Okay.
You want to go check that out. And then I just post in the monitor groups all the time. I'll be building the 12x12 this week, so that'll be done and wired up, so I can show off that.
I'll definitely go ahead and put your social medias and the ESPN stuff up on the screen and down in the description. And dude, thank you for coming on. I know we've been talking about this for a while now, and it was fun to finally sit down and talk about all the random monitors and all that stuff.
It's always hard to get this. It's hard to get a professional athlete on podcast.
Exactly.
There you go.
But
and it's not every day, Not every day you get a koati on here.
Hey, the first exotic mammal on the podcast.
He's trying to take a nap, so he's mad at me for 15 minutes. But.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, man. We will talk to you next time. We'll link everything down below. Thank you again.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Of course, bro. See you, man. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Dude, that was fun.
That was cool.
Yeah, he's working with some cool stuff, man. That's awesome.
I just think it's kind of cool that I might potentially get the siblings of that.
Yeah, that's what a small world that is.
Yeah, like itty bitty.
I want one so bad. As soon as I get my class 3, I'm working on putting in my class 3 now, so I can officially sell stuff. So I'm excited.
It's more of a reason for you to just come up to Alabama and visit.
I actually was talking to Emily today about coming up to visit to drop off a couple things to you that we won't say on this podcast. They're secrets.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I definitely need to come up and visit it. I need to see everything. I need to see these monitors. I need to see the mammal boat. Especially now that you got that new, or Chris got that new porcupine. That thing looks adorable. I've never seen one that small before.
His mohawk is great. And he's every bit as pokey as you'd think a porcupine would be.
I thought. See, I've only interacted with the prehensile tail porcupines, never African crested. So,
well, right now he's more pokey like a hedgehog.
Okay,
but like it's still like you're touching a porcupine, so it's like don't you shoot your quill into me, even though they don't shoot quills, and you know this. But it's like don't do it. That'll be a miserable thing. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to watching him grow up and stuff, and apparently he gets a little bit of an attitude sometimes. What I really wish I could have over here one night when we do a podcast is the kinkajou.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, Monk's pretty cool. Except for the fact that she's peed on me once and pooped on me multiple times. It's like as soon as she wakes up and as soon as she eats, right after she eats anything, she goes to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, that's
but
funny.
she'd sit here on my shoulder, and the other crazy thing too is she'll sit on your shoulder, and if I didn't have earphones on, she'd put her tongue all the way down in your ear, and she's like, "No, what's you got in there?"
Like clean it out for you.
Or she'll put her tongue up your nose, and you're like, "Okay, that's my brain."
That's crazy. Yeah, I've never.
So
I think the one that you have or y'all have is the only nice one I've ever seen.
I've run into a couple nice ones. I tell you, the one that's really been it's sad the way she's been acting lately. Mm-hmm. But Bendy has been a handful, and I mean she's by far the coolest animal that we have here. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, we got cool stuff, but nothing's as cool as that Bearcat, and it just sucks that she's getting a little feisty. I think she's just getting into that sexual maturity age, and she's just like,
damn. Got to find her. There's a male for sale on exoticanimals.net.
Yeah, you got 30 grand?
I don't think he's 30 grand. I think he's a little bit cheaper than that, but he's definitely expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
That would be a cool species to fucking breed, though. That would be some. I don't think there's many people doing that. Is there?
Well, I have no idea. I don't know anything about who's breeding what exotic mammal. I mean,
next episode
who's breeding monitors. I mean, I know a few.
Next episode, we got to bring on a Bearcat breeder. You know how awesome that would. I think we should definitely look into, because we've done a lot of reptile episodes. I think it's about time we do another mammal episode, or even an amphibian episode. We haven't done an amphibian episode yet, so let us know in the comments what y'all want to see: mammals, reptiles, or amphibians next, or fish.
I want to talk to some frog breeders, dude.
Yeah, if you guys are listening to this podcast, and if you breed any of the things we just mentioned, or just breed something cool, reptiles, mammals, amphibians, fish, let us know. We're always willing to talk about some cool stuff, especially if we don't know what it is. If you're working with underrated species, come on. We'd love to talk about it, give you guys some a platform to talk and teach us stuff.
Like hell, Southern Toads.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought of
Exactly.
So, but I guess that wraps up this episode. Thanks, guys, for listening. We're really having fun. I'm enjoying it. I think, Gavin, you're enjoying it.
I'm loving it. I'm having a blast.
You're not being attacked by any prehensile tailed skinks this episode, so that's good.
Yeah, no, the lighting keeps messing up, but they're up there. The chameleons on this one. And
Well,
speaking of
at least they didn't jump
news on the chameleon, so she should be laying sometime this month or beginning of next month. And so I upgraded her lay bin to now she was at 8 inches of substrate, and I just felt like that wasn't enough. So now she's at 11.5-inch substrate bin. So she is set. But I came in today and she was walking around the substrate bin twice. So fingers crossed she's checking it out. But, yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 12. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and like the video. Comment down below, like we said, what you guys want to see us talk about in future episodes and your feedback on all the episodes. And subscribe if you aren't already.
Sounds good. Have a good one, guys.
Yep. See you guys. Peace out.